7:02. I will call the meeting to order. Could we have roll call, please?
Mayor Grant.
Here.
Hutton. Colash. Poppy. Harden.
Here.
Bosco John.
Here.
Flit.
Here.
You're good, we have a quorum.
All right. Is there a motion to approve tonight's agenda?
Motion to approve tonight's agenda.
I'll second that.
Any discussion? Hearing none, all those in favor of approving the agenda, say aye.
Aye.
Opposed? That's approved. Motion to approve the minutes from December 14th meeting.
I'll motion to approve the minutes from December 14th.
Is there a second?
I can second.
All right, any discussion? Hearing none, all those in favor of approving the minutes, say aye.
Aye.
Opposed? That's approved. All right, time is now 7:03. I will open the public hearing. Request by the Ripon Community Church for conditional use in a B2 highway business district at 1 Westgate Drive. This is to allow a church or other religious institution in a B2 district. That was 7:03. I'll open the public hearing now. Would you like to just speak on what your plans are?
Yeah, sure. So, is it right from here okay, or should I
Yeah, that's
stand?
fine.
Wherever you like.
That's fine.
Wherever.
Great. So we're very excited. There's been about 20 years spent dealing with a current location that has a lot of difficulties for many people. So, for example, to enter our church, you almost have to use stairs. We have a way to get around the situation to get in, but it's very much not accessible to the average person. So with that, though, even in spite of that, we've grown. We've done a space beside us with basically an apartment building that we've used for kids ministry and groups and that sort of thing. But that also includes stairs, difficult access points, not ideal room sizes. So we've spent a lot of time figuring out where we should go. And then this opportunity came to us, which literally it could not be more perfect. It has space for kids to run and green grass. We don't know what green grass is right now because we don't have any of that. It's amazing in that way. It has parking for people, handicap accessibility for everyone. It also has the ability to grow. We're a growing church. We're averaging 350 people a week right now, which is fantastic. And be a fantastic place to continue to grow in that way. Before COVID, we were well over that even, and we were using the high school, but this would be a much better permanent home for us as a church.
Slightly off topic, what's your intention with the building downtown?
Great question. At some point, it would be helpful for us to sell it.
Okay. Anyone from the public like to speak on this matter? No? All right.
I'll just note, it was published in the paper. Notice was sent out to individuals within 100 feet of the property. There was no registered comment outside of this meeting.
All right. Oh, give people a minute or two here to show up and speak if they'd like. Any
question for it?
listening for it. Any other information on the project that?
We're doing our best to work really well with the current owners. We have a parking lot. We'll be sharing the use of that, working out. It already currently has an egress and regress. Is that what the word is?
Ingress.
Ingress. Yes.
Ingress.
Thank you. So it currently has access.
Dedicated
to
easement.
already there, but we'll expand on that so that we can have shared parking spaces.
And you're looking at purchasing the building, not just renting?
Purchasing the building, yes.
Now, on the CSM,
Yep.
is the property already divided, so the hotel is on a separate parcel, or, okay, so this is already set, and I assume this is an easement so they can access their parking?
Exactly, yes.
And do you have an agreement with them for use of the parking lot?
It's
or-
written in our purchase agreement to create a new one that will work for the use of the parking lot.
Okay, so it is part of the sale?
Yes.
They have access to the parking or something of that nature?
Yep.
speaking of parking, the building code, is there a requirement for the hotel to own parking, or can they?
It just states that you need, per the B2 district, you need 1 space per 200 square feet of consumer space. And if I go back to the R1 district where you find most churches, it's 1 space per 5 seats. Well, it's already assembly and we're staying assembly, so. And I can't get to any plans because they're in the vault. So I can't see what was approved in the previous plan commission,
Okay,
because it was done in,
but they don't have to own the parking, they just have to have access to
they
it,
can have access, they can have a written agreement.
so it won't impinge on them at all. All right, well, it's now 7:07. No one's coming, so I'll close the, or 7:08, I will close the public hearing. Any questions or comments from the commission? Or legal, or city administrator?
Just a clarification, again, it's understood that there will be parking for the hotel as well as parking, and it's gonna be worked out as part of the purchase,
And they do have some parking already.
designated
Yeah.
by virtue of the division of lands.
It looks like the division might include 1 car stall
Yes.
up against the building, plus a little bit up front.
Yeah, there is some angle up against the building, but
Okay, just-
So that's how it's gonna be divided then?
That's how it currently is, that's the parcel. So
That is a weird lot line, so.
this is,
So they're not changing that?
No.
Okay. And that's enough for the,
So then there's gonna be an understanding that they have overflow right to the
And that's just
parking.
understanding that an easement.
But there's gonna be an easement
Yes.
for overflow parking?
Yeah.
Okay. It's just existing business, and obviously that would be the planning commission function to say a conditional use fits as long as we're not impacting. The current owner that's selling is the current owner of both properties, correct? So they're doing it to themselves
Yes.
by virtue of the sale.
Yes.
That's important as well. That, again, that's the planning function, that we're not impacting adversely any current property.
I do know most of the parking that the hotel uses in what will be your lot is for semis, stuff like that. Big vehicles.
And that'll be written in as, that's written into the agreement is what you're indicating.
Yep.
That will survive closing. Okay,
Okay.
thank you. No further.
so,
would that be on like a, would that be like a recorded document then?
Yes,
That
I think
goes with
that's
parcel, like
what
on
the
deed?
intention would be, that would be recordable.
Yes, so do you want the specific language? That'd be
Yeah.
helpful. No, I'm not the wrong thing. Give me a minute.
I got a question. So this is a resurvey right now, correct?
That's
Existing.
current existing.
This is
that's
existing.
that is the existing parcel in, highlighted in like red, I think
Right,
it is.
yes, okay. So it wasn't just resurveyed?
No,
to-
for
No.
these purposes.
Okay, gotcha.
Now.
And because it was one owner, it was allowed that way for both properties, is it? Because obviously the
Yeah.
hotel doesn't have enough parking right now.
No, I
Correct.
mean, it's, you know, 2 parcels, common owner,
Yeah,
so, you
so
know.
that's
so
why-
We don't question.
Yeah.
Yeah,
Who's crossing over property line for
Right.
purposes, and that's
Yeah.
the reason language
So here's.
should be.
Here's the language in the purchase agreement.
Okay.
So it's a commercially reasonable, non-exclusive parking area easement to be negotiated by seller and purchaser during the due diligence period for seller's use of the parking area on the property, which shall include a proration of responsibility for future expenses for maintenance, replacement, and repair, including snow and ice removal. So we'll split that 60-40, responsible to each. And which shall allow the seller to park anywhere within the parking areas on the property.
Very good. So, yeah, so the end game, plan commission approves of this. If they approve of this, they can ask that that language survive closing, whether it's through the offer or through a recorded document. So I think that would be the motion I'd be looking for from legal.
Any further discussions, or would anyone like to make the motion?
I'm afraid I'm gonna say it wrong,
Yeah.
but I would like, would it
That will
make,
help you.
would it make sense to say that I motion to
Approve the conditional use
with the language
as presented,
as presented
with
the language of closure?
the language to survive closing in either a recordable form or a covenant that will allow use of the hotel to the parking area.
I said that. You saw it mouth moving.
I will
I'll put that on the record that I
Yeah.
said that.
Well done.
Can you repeat that?
No,
No way.
sorry, I'm not feeling well.
Animal doctor.
Any
No, they weren't
second?
I did,
Okay.
yes.
John seconded. Give him a minute to write this.
Okay.
Good? All right, any discussion on the motion?
What was the motion again?
Thanks, Mike.
Hearing none, all those in favor of approving the conditional use permit, say aye.
Aye.
Opposed? That's approved. Thank you very much. What
Good luck, Sam.
On closing, and moving in.
Closing will happen late February, mid-March, somewhere between that and March 16th is the date it has to by for the agreement. And then there'll be a period of construction and renovation, and the goal is September, October of this year to move in.
Very good. Thank you.
Thank you.
Thank
Have
you.
a good evening.
You guys too.
Have a good one.
Thanks for finding me.
All right, next item is the annexation petition review and recommendation. It's a unanimous approval annexation petition to annex 46.53 acres of land located in the town of Ripon at N8747 Douglas Street to the city of Ripon. It looks like it's 2 parcels that we're looking at, or is it just one?
There are 2 parcels, so we have, the Linewebbers are here tonight, the current owners of the parcel, as well as Brian Cook from Alliant Energy is here. In front of you, there are a couple maps here as well. So there is a unanimous consent, or unanimous approval annexation. So it's the simplest form of annexation submitted to the city. How that process sort of plays out is we take this document, forward it to the Department of Administration at a state level. They review it and say whether they recommend it or don't, but that's not necessarily binding. It's just sort of best practice to have them review it and give that recommendation. The Plan Commission, if you so choose to move this forward, we would be looking at a recommendation to, sorry that got cut off, but a recommendation to approve the annexation petition contingent upon DOA's formal recommendation and review to the Common Council. Upon that happening with DOA, which we anticipate DOA's response by January 30th, the Common Council will then have an annexation ordinance in February to bring the 46.53 acres into the city. Part of this as well is a requirement to notice the town and the school district, which has been done. And as you see in the annexation petition, the sort of reasons for this include Alliant Energy's desires to acquire a 10-acre parcel of the piece of property and move their, Brian, you can tell what it is, but it's, they want to acquire it and move a new, to Fenton Street location, kind of move that operation over there. And then utilities as well, moving and growing out. So certainly you guys can speak and say what kind of the plan is, but this is the first step. The next step would be, after the annexation, CSMs and plan review and all that stuff.
Just to clarify, so if this annexation happens, that part of the town becomes city?
Yes, so that, yep, and it's.
Just so they can move the energy?
Yep, yep, and so to be clear too, this is, it abuts the city limits, so it's not like a balloon on a
Random-
string or just
Yeah,
something
no,
out
I
there.
understand that.
It directly, is off
Drawing.
of Dzinski,
Okay.
Drive or road or.
And you all want this to happen, right? This is not, just making sure, right? Okay, good, yeah.
I'm Brian Cook with the Lion Energy Real Estate Department, and we approached the Lion Webbers and entered into an offer purchase contract for 10 acres. The reason for that location is because of the desirability of being close to city infrastructure and annexing, so we have access to city sewer and water for the proposed operations center to replace the outdated Fenton Street location. The city's desire was to have both parcels annexed, so that's the proposal for both parcels. And then we'd be looking at land division of a 10-acre rectangular parcel in the southwesterly corner there, just north of Dzinski Drive. So there would be future land division for that, and then other city approvals for the facility itself.
And Alliant Energy, they currently have a small substation in that area as well.
Correct, is south of that detention.
Would this be abutting to that, or?
No, it would not be north of it.
Okay.
There's a 14.5 acre parcel that the city currently has on
Oh, that's in between.
on the south side, and there's that substation, the railroad tracks, and then Alliance has their warehouse. So this is on the north side of Dzinski Drive, the cul-de-sac and so forth.
Okay.
So the parcel of land we're looking at, I don't know if you're familiar with the area, but it is between the house that's there and then Dzinski Drive. It will go back to about the middle of that retention pond that's already in place there.
All right.
I'm Shirley Stibb, I'm the manager of customer operations for our facility in Ripon. So once we start with the construction, if approved, I'll be managing all of the aspects of the move-in and then the crews that work out of that building. And again, just to kind of take on to what Brian said, a lot of the reason for the move is because of the fact that our utility industry is growing. Our equipment needs are getting greater, and the sheer size of the equipment is getting larger, and we've outgrown our existing facility located on Fenton Street. And Alliant Energy really has a strong desire to stay committed to within the city of Ripon, and moving this property and annexing it into the city would really solidify that relationship and that commitment of staying within the city limits.
What happens to the substation on Fenton Street? Will that, the electrical stuff stay there yet?
Yeah, that substation will need to remain.
Okay.
We just rebuilt that substation to make it a little better and a little safer for the location that it's in within the city limits, so that we have more enclosed housing in that area. But there is a significant size transmission line, the 345 line comes through there. So for us to be able to move that substation, ETC would have to move that entire transmission.
Just did a lot of work upgrading it.
We did, yeah, we spent quite a bit of time there, just to make it better.
Any further questions or discussion?
Question to Adam, if you know, do our city utilities, how far do they run out?
So that's part of this too. So basically on the corner of North Douglas and Dzinski, the water actually kind of cuts across and runs along Dzinski and stops there. The sanitary sewer stops at around kind of the intersection of Bayer Road and then kind of short of the Dzinski intersection, so they don't quite meet. So, there will be needing to run sanitary sewer, a certain length to accommodate Alliance and build out. We just haven't gotten quite that far yet on which direction or where we take it, but, and then consider obviously extending it out further for future development. But water's good, sanitary would be needed to be extended.
I assume that's under the street.
Yes, I believe so.
You don't mind a stance of putting them under sidewalks instead.
See?
I do know somebody has been out there, sir, I saw some blue flags out there when I drove past there today, that are kind of, there's 2 fire hydrants on the south side of Dzinski Drive, and I saw some blue flags, so I don't know if that represents the water line.
That's water.
Yeah.
that would be-
So that runs right along the blacktop edge of the road is where they position the flag, so.
Yep. You didn't see any green ones?
Not yet.
No, that's sewer.
Any further discussion, or would anyone like to make a motion?
I'll motion to approve the annexation petition.
I'll second.
And this would be to refer it to council pending DOA approval.
Yeah.
Yes, exactly.
Moving forward.
What he said.
What you said. I don't know why I heard from over there.
I'm a ventriloquist.
Yeah. Yeah, I still say it.
Any discussion on the motion? Hearing none, all those in favor of approving the annexation petition, say aye.
Aye.
Opposed? That is approved. Thank you very much.
Thank you.
Thank you.
And if DOA approves, this would be on the first meeting, February?
Yep, we'll talk to Lion about that and see if they want us to move it faster, so obviously, see, but, we'll see with the council too, but I can't commit. Normal meeting is the 14th, that's the latest we would do it, okay?
All right, thank you very much.
Thank you.
Have a good night. Project updates and staff reports.
I still have a this floodplain zoning ordinance in my inbox from last year that I have to read, that then will come to, so, and then I don't know if we may have a meeting next month, so it's just, there may be a few things coming up, but we'll see.
Bunch of stuff, we just don't know when it's gonna hit us.
Yeah, so there'll be a lot of site plans and things of that nature, but.
Are we gonna do anything with the Ripon College updates? Is that some of the stuff that's in the pipeline?
Yeah, that is one piece of it. They are
No, they're just,
planning, yep, so
Yeah,
they
they're
have,
planning.
they have their engineers and architects and
Okay.
designers working through the stadium.
Mhm.
You know, they've talked to Sue, talked to me, talked to our engineers to make sure that they're addressing everything. So, I mean, that's one, and there's probably 2 or 3 other developments that, you know,
Is the
may come.
Bar Hall renovation all internal, or is there any site plan that we'll be doing for
There
that?
likely will be a site plan from the standpoint of expansion of the Far Hall they're gonna add on, so, but I don't think that's moving as fast as the stadium.
It's a more difficult project.
So,
That all we got?
yep,
All right. Is there a motion to adjourn?
Motion to adjourn.
Is there a second?
John.
All those in favor, say aye.
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 Opposed? We're adjourned at 7:25.